Welcome guys to another interesting episode. This is MenHacks, where we are raising the bar in relationships. My name is Gachin and leo niko on another interesting episode and on another interesting topic. But before niende hapo, I want to let you know that we are building this community of people who just love to listen to dating and relationship conversation. So if you're that kind of a person, I need to let you know right now that I have so much episodes lined up for you. So much interesting episodes that deal with dating and relationship conversations. So kama wewe ni huo mse mwenye unataka kuwa part of this community, whether you are a guy, whether you are a lady, be part of our community of people who love to listen to dating and relationship conversations. Subscribe and make sure you like this video so that pia recommendie wasi wengine. Okay, so let's begin. So let's jump into the topic today. Leo nataka kukuambia top 10 flirting tricks za women. So these are the things zenye unafaa kujua kama dem, whether when you ume approach chali ama ni yame ku approach. These are the things that you need to do so that uoneshe uchali kuna venye uko interested in knowing him, kuna venye uko interested in having a conversation with him. Okay, so the first thing I need you to do, I need you to not appear serious. Anytime chali amekuja kuongelesha ama anytime umeenda kuongelesha chali, don't appear too serious. Una get? And I'm not saying sasa ati uanze kusmile ni kama sasa uchali aone ni kama already ushaanza kumfolia. Hapana, just have like that charisma. At least uchali ana feel enye udem kuna venye ni kama akona vibe, kuna venye ni kama akona the vibes. Una get? So anytime a guy approaches you ama anytime you approach a guy, probably you just want to talk to him ama you just want to say hi, your facial expression needs to say that you are this interesting person who doesn't mind conversation. Una get? So anytime you approach a guy ama anytime unaona chalia na kujia na unajua chalia na kuja kuongelesha, always put on that face of charisma, put on that light face so that aone enye udem kuna venye ni kama anataka conversations. Because anytime you are too serious, hata chali ataogopa kukujia. Anytime you appear too serious and anytime you get those comments, hey, unakaa serious, those guys are just trying to tell you kuna venye haukai approachable. Okay, so I know it's hard to kind of like figure out how do you look approachable, but what I'd say is from time to time, smile kidogo, cheka kidogo. Even if you're with your friends, like make other people know around that kuna venye manze udem kuna venye ako open to a conversation. Okay, the other trick you need to know that works on men perfectly, you need to find a reason to touch him. So ile time anakuongelesha, just find a reason kumguza, because what we notice kama men, anytime tunaongea na dem and then akuguze two place, hata kama ni mkono ama ni shoulder, you'll notice udem amekuguza, especially place kuna skin. Usimguze kwa nguo because probably hata feel, but anytime unaona probably amevaa tisho, unaweza mguza arm, unaweza mguza shoulder, unaweza mshika shingo. So anytime you just you'll just act ni kama una play around, ama you'll just act ni kama kuna venye tu like kuna mgonga, we acha nini. Anytime you act like that, chali ata notice. So anytime kuna hiyo skin to skin contact, in terms of your hand touching his skin, kuna venye chali atajua udem kuna venye she's into me. So that's one flirting trick that you can use as a lady. The other thing to show a guy that you are flirting with him, one thing unaweza fanya ni just laugh at his jokes. Hata probably hajasema joke, probably amesema tu kitu ina sound remotely funny, just find a reason to laugh. You know why? Because itaonesha uchali enyewe kama alikuwa na anxiety ama alikuwa na pressure ya kukuongelesha, ata feel udem enyewe kuna venye ameanza kucheka jokes zangu. You get? So these are all the conversations that are going through mind ya chali, anafikiria guy udem yani. Wacha nikwambie, the funniest thing about guys, tuna noticing when we have talked to a lady for a while na udem hajacheka, like we notice, because in our conversations most of the time we are trying to say cheeky things, we are trying to say corny things. So anytime you don't laugh ama anytime you don't smile, you kind of feel like udem kwani aski vibe yangu. So anytime you want to show this guy that you are flirting with him, you need to show him that umecheka, at least kajoke kamoja. Hata kama it doesn't sound as humorous as you'd want it to sound, make sure umecheka. Una get? Cheka hata heri useme unakoga na ufala. So anytime you do that, a guy is able to know, by the way udem enyewe kuna venye nimeanza kuingia hapo. You get? So anytime you start to kind of like laugh at his jokes ama kind of like the guy, showing the guy that you have a sense of humor, hiyo ni kitu moja chalia na kuanga attracted to anytime anaona kwa dem. Una get? Trick ingine kama dem lazima ukumbuke, you need to smile all through the conversation, and I'm not saying that you ukue tu hapo, but I'm just saying like try to find a way to kind of like smile all through the conversation. And I know it can be tiring, but anytime you just get in that mood of okay uchali, get into that presence ya uchali by the anani vibe, so try to smile, and I know probably you're trying to play hard to get, but anytime you feel like now you want to show this guy that you are into him, try and smile, because hiyo ni kitu moja chali atanotice sana, and you'll find he might even compliment your smile, he might even compliment you get. So anytime you smile, the guy is more willing to continue with the conversation and is more willing kuendelea kutupa vibe, just because anaona udem kuna venye anaanza sasa kuingia box, you get. So anytime you want to send that hint to him, just smile all through the conversation. So for this next point, I know sometimes it can be a bit intimidating for different men, but one thing I'll say you can use as a flirting trick, unaweza angalia into the eyes of the guy that is talking to you. Maintain your eye contact. Una get, because it tells this person that you're very present to Kenya anasema. So hata hezi jaribu kusema ufala, hezi jaribu, unless he's the kind of guy who really doesn't mind, anaweza sema kitu yoyote na just to make you laugh, ama just to make you like kind of like get out of your comfort zone, you get. So anytime you maintain that eye contact with the guy, kuna venye this guy feels enyewe I have the full attention of this lady. So if it's a guy you are trying, probably unichali umekuwa ukikrashia, now amekama ameanza kukuongeleshia, you really want to maintain that eye contact, because you really want to show him that nakusikiza, nasikia kenye unasema, because there is also a thing of like chali umemwangalia ile intensely na eyes, una get. Anytime you look at him intensely, eye contact nini, there's always like a romantic thing going on there. So anytime you want to flirt with this guy, one trick you can use is make sure you maintain that eye contact, and then from time to time jaribu kublink, jaribu kufanya tu vitu na macho yako, at least uone kama uchali ana notice kenye unafanya, you get. So it always creates that romantic atmosphere anytime you guys are looking into each other's eyes. The other trick I'd advise you to use as a lady, anytime unaongea na chali, make sure umesema kitu enye expect useme, you get. Like hata wewe mjaribu kumtoa kwa comfort zone yake. Kama alikuwa amekujia na strategy fulani, jaribu kudismantle your strategy and say something he doesn't expect you to say. Like I find it so crazy, sometimes unaongea na dem and then uko like unamuinvite over and then she tells you out of the blues, unasikia tu dem amekwambia sasa unataka nikuje ndio nikule, it's something that you don't expect dem akuambie, but then akiisema it's kind of like you really don't know how to react. Hautaki kukani kama umebambika ama hautaki kucheka hiyo story, but sometimes it's good when you're flirting with a guy, just say something he doesn't expect. Fikiria tu kitu and just say it in the moment, so that pia udismantle any kind of like kama uchali alikuwa amekuja na confidence sana, anaona hapa kunaendaje, you get. But then don't do it in a way enye ataona ni kama unajaribu kumrepel, you get. So just do it in a way that comes out as so friendly and so probably humorous. Another thing you can do to get this guy's attention by obviously flirting with him, unaweza fanya hivi, anytime the conversation imeisha, probably you guys are going in a different direction, ama probably amekusindikisha to some point and then you have to go back, ama like amekufikisha hii point you have to go on, you need to do this, you need to turn. So tuseme mko mnasimama like side to side, una get. So mko mnasimama side to side, you need to turn and make sure by the time una turn amebakia kikuangalia, and then just look back and smile, because obviously unajua uchali amebakia kikuangalia, you get. So anytime you kind of like umefika point unataka kuachana, I want you to, anytime conversation imeisha and you have to go your way, probably unaenda home ama unaenda place ingine, just turn akikuangalia ile tu like I expect, turn and just look at him and smile, and that will make him watch you as you go away, okay? Watch you as you walk away. So anytime you do it, kuna venye chali manzi anaanza kufikiria hiyo story sana, una get. So you want him to think about you even when you're not there. So when you do that, you will give him that lasting memory enye anaona by the udem, yani ameenda tu hivyo, you get, because the conversation continues after that, una get. So anytime you create that picture, you create that image, atakumbuka hiyo smile and just how you walked away, and he might even compliment you about it and talk about it when you guys go back to chatting, una get. The other trick na inaweza sema nimeona na madem wengi wakifanya, especially when we are talking to them, when I'm trying to talk to a lady, one of the things that I think is so cute when ladies do, and probably hawajui wanakonga wakifanya hii kitu, always kind of like try to shake your head anytime unaongeleshwa na chali. So anytime amekuja kuongelesha, be like, wewe mwanaume unasema nini? Una get, wewe unasema nini? So anytime you do that in such a sexy way, because obviously I move, probably kichwa yangu hai move kama venye yako ita move, but you just want to do like, wewe unasema nini wewe? You get. So anytime you do it, and I'm not saying that sasa ni kaleka atika maringo, apana, just move your head ile ya like that sexy romantic movement ya, what are you saying, kwani umesahau kenye unasema? So anytime you do it, there's a way kind of chali alikuwa ameanza kuzone out of that situation. It brings him back anytime you, because wacha nikwambia, one thing that happens when guys talk to ladies, because ladies talk too much sometimes, you kind of find chali saa zingine anazoningi out of the conversation. So ulikuwa unaongea na dem but umezone out. So anytime una notice chali amezone out, probably anakusikia, but then he's so immersed in manze, probably in his mind anajiambia guy, yani naongelesha dem rembo hivi, na get. So anytime you unaona kuna venye like amepotea ama kuna venye anafikiria sana, you need to shake your head. Anytime you shake your head when you're talking to him ama when he's talking to you, kuna venye tu like his presence itarudi hapo, like kama alikuwa amezone out atarudi hapo akumbuke, and you might find that after that he may start to smile ama laugh, just because ana realize that kidogo alikuwa amezone out and now he's back, So trick ingine naweza kwambia utumie kama dem anytime you're talking to a guy, probably you guys are even talking for the first time, bado nyinyi ni strangers, and probably you want to kind of like wewe ushajiambia uchali venye anakaa, kuna venye siezi mind hata akanitisha namba nini, and you're already thinking about those things, na probably ni amekuja kuongelesha. I want you to use your fingers when you talk, wewe, so anytime you do that, kuna venye tu again unapata attention ya uchali, like you kind of come out as a playful lady. So anytime you use your fingers and probably you point at him, ama probably like unamguza anytime you do that, kuna venye you come out as very playful, and kuna venye chali atakuwa more attracted, because one thing, there is one thing about ladies that you have to understand. It's one thing to look good, it's one thing to be beautiful, it's another thing to hold a man's attention. Unaget, kuhold attention ya mwanaume si rahisi. So anytime a guy comes to you, and probably hata uchalia na kafiti, kuna venye hata umemtamani, kuna venye anakaa crush wako, ujue the same way pia umemcrashia, the same way kuna mademu wengine pia umemcrashia. So if you don't do the most when you have that opportunity for him to talk to you, when you don't do the most and kind of like grab his attention and his presence, kuna venye after your conversation imeisha, haitakuwa memorable. That's why a guy utapata chali amekuja kuongea na wewe, but then wewe akikuja kuongea na wewe hachukui namba yako, because feel the need, feel ni kama hii convo kuna venye itagrow kwa kitu ya maana. But anytime you do these tricks, una realize chali ana come na haezi toka hapo bila kuchukua namba yako, cause already ashakuwa entertained, already usha trigger mind yake in so many different ways that is so much attracted to you that haezi imagine that conversation inazaishia tu hapo. He will have to take your number, unajua. And of course the last point I'll say, I want you to do the dance, okay? So you're wondering, what is this dance? So in ile dance, probably imefika ile point he's asking for your number, and you're there like, why should I give you my number? Unaget? So ni ile, like you want to give him your number, but then you want to act as if this guy has to persuade you even more. So you're sending that, una send ile signal mi lazima nibembeleze, hebu nibembeleze kwanza. So always do the dance, but tena you have to measure this guy, like you have to know tolerance ya uchali ni gani. Probably kuna chali utafanyia hivyo and then akurushia mkono aseme Mr. Ki hata hiyo namba kaa nayo, but then you have to measure according to venye conversation imeenda. Uchali ukianza kumfanyia the dance why should I give you my number, mbona unataka namba yangu, mbona unataka namba yangu, niambie. So anytime you do that, there is a way like you have to intrigue the guy enough for him to feel like he wants to persuade you even more. Okay, so always do the dance. Pia usiende na kila kitu anasema. Sometimes try to deny him so that uone pia yeye atakuwa tolerant enough kukuitisha namba ama kukuwa persuasive enough kujaribu kuget Kenya anataka from you. You get? And with that, we've come to the end of this episode. Join me on the next episode. But even before we are done with this episode, I want you to let me know hapo kwa comment section. Ni flirting trick gani unatumianga kama dem? Ama ni flirting trick gani kama chali pia wewe unajua that madem wanaweza tumia? Ama ushaona dem fulani ametumia kwako na ukakuwa intrigued na yeye? Na dem pia ni trick gani currently unatumia kujaribu ku get attention ya machali. You get? So kama you have an idea, you have your own flirting trick that always works for you, niandikie hapo kwa comment section so that we can learn from each other, so that hata ule mtu mwingine mwenye atakuja kusoma kwa comment section atajua kumbe hii ndo trick nyingine, kumbe hii ndo trick nyingine naweza tumia. So let's meet on the next episode. Make sure you subscribe and be part of this community of people who love to listen to dating and relationship conversations. And also remember to like, also share na beshte yako. Probably kuna beshte yako mwenye ana feel hii anafaa kujua, share na yeye, and also comment. Remember to like also so that irecommendie watu wengine wengi. Okay, let's meet on the next episode.
Kwa relationship tuambiane ukweli.